Welcome to Study Loop.
In this question, we're given a situation where we have a salt. The name of the salt is chromium nitrate salt that at 15 degrees has a solubility of 208 grams per 100 grams of water. So what it's saying is if I have a solution, if I have this salt in solution, okay, at 15 degrees Celsius, then I can only put up to 208 grams into solution. Okay, so that's 208 grams. And then if I try to add any more salt than that, it's going to stay as a solid. Okay, and because it's saturated, then the solute in solution and the solute that's not dissolved, the dissolved and the undissolved solute are at equilibrium. So if it's saturated, you can't have more than 208 grams in that 100 grams of water. Okay. And what they're saying is that we made a solution at 35 degrees. And at 35 degrees, we're able to dissolve more than this 208. We're able to dissolve up to 324. Right? So they have a lot more solution. There's no precipitate, and this contains 324 grams. And that's possible because we're at this higher temperature of 35 degrees C. And what happens is from 35, we cool down the solution to 15 degrees C. And the question is, if no precipitate forms, is this unsaturated, saturated, or supersaturated? Well, saturated, we already said, will contain 208 grams in solution. Because we've exceeded that, this solution, which has 324 grams at 15 degrees Celsius, is now supersaturated. So part A, the answer is supersaturated. Now, here in part B, we're taking the supersaturated solution. Remember, it contains 324 grams for every 100 grams of water. And what we do is we take a spatula and we scratch the sides of it. And what happens then is we start to see crystals. What we've done when we scratch the sides of the glass is we've created a site where we can seed the crystals, basically give the crystals a place to begin forming. And so then what we'll see along the sides of along that scratch is the formation of crystals because we have seeded a starting site for them. Okay, so that's what happens when you scratch the glass. And what you'll see is that you'll lose some of the crystals from the solution you'll lose some of the solute in the solution as it starts to form solid crystals along that scratch line. Finally, in part C, we're asked, at equilibrium, what massive crystals will form? Well, recall that at equilibrium, we're going to go back to saturated solution. So if we know that saturated solution contains 208 grams, and we started with 324, okay, what will remain in solution is the 208, and what we started was the 324. So if we subtract, we'll get the mass of crystals that will form. So this difference is 116 grams.